One thing that I know about quiK Samus is that he's incredibly mobile with the character. He has a real feel for the character. Obviously, this has been his character for many, many years.
Since Brawl.
Since Brawl. I believe he even dabbled in Melee Samus, and of course, he plays Zero Suit as well, being very proficient with pretty much all the Metroid characters in this game.
Exactly, yeah.
And even right there, that's just the start of quiK's movement, the way he kind of slid around the ledge, almost Melee-esque in that regard.
It's always been a trademark of his, like ever since he would do his like first few combo videos in Brawl. The thing everyone would note about him was his movement, you know, how fast it looked. He made Samus look fast in Brawl. And Samus was not a good character in Brawl.
Not a good character, not a fast character. That just goes to show how exceptional of a player quiK is. Meanwhile, though, TonyClackos still keeping up in general. Roy is a very powerful, explosive character, kind of to complement Marth's kind of finesse. Roy is definitely kind of a brute force in the way that he wants to play. Just feels overwhelming, and these neutral airs, such a force.
So far, Tony doing a pretty good job at getting around quiK's obstacle course, basically, that he's putting up with the bombs and the charge shots and the normals.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job not committing to his buttons in certain places, but that was the exact kind of point where you needed to commit a little bit earlier or air dodge around that neutral air. The neutral air from Samus is so strong in this game, and
exactly.
That's another thing that's so good with Samus in this game. The increased hit lag on the charge shot means that she can actually get true combos off of her charge shot.
Exactly. And one thing I note so far is that quiK is using a lot of forward air in neutral because he knows that Roy really wants to be in the air with those short hops and mix up those short hop timings, but he's just putting this wall of forward air to make it hard for Roy to get in.
Yeah, that he is. He's doing such a fantastic job. Air dodge to ledge, caught fantastically by the up air, and now quiK is absolutely in the driver's seat. He can play, he could be more than happy to just play back, use those B-reverse charge shots, covering the ground, and again in the air as well. Covering all avenues is quiK. What a sensational exhibition of gameplay so far.
Conditioning is crazy, and that forward air kills? No.
Almost. All right, good recovery from Tony, and a great reversal with the forward smash as well, keeping himself alive in this game. That stock was electric from quiK, but wasn't able to seal the deal.
Just relentless pressure from quiK.
Right there, we see Tony playing a little bit more grounded in response to quiK calling out his jumps. He knows that he kind of has to stay grounded, maybe abuse that down tilt a little bit more, get into Samus's zone, and then start pressuring from there. But quiK is definitely not making it at all easy, using these bombs to
really
cover
those
ground.
Bombs. Yeah, exactly. Puts the bomb and then drifts back, and the bomb is just right there, so you can't just run into it. And if you jump, you're going to be scared of the charge shot.
Oh, the bomb and the charge shot combining their efforts, but still not enough to get the KO just yet. 194, but the down tilt finally getting that KO.
Really impressive play by quiK. Like, it was looking pretty even at first, but then quiK just exploded.
Yeah.
Like, from there.
Something just clicked inside of quiK, and he was just able to answer everything that Tony was trying to throw at him. Tony was getting maybe a little bit anxious towards the latter end of that.
I think once he lost his first stock, he tried a bit too hard to force the situation, and then just ran into quiK's wall of options.
Absolutely, and he wasn't able to properly compose himself until he'd taken that first stock off of quiK, where it began to kind of slow the pace down slightly, but even then, it was still a bit too much of a deficit to come back from.
So let's see where Tony's gonna take him.
Of course, we're going through the stage bans. In case, I'm not sure if we mentioned this already, but in case you don't know, we are playing a 9-stage list with 4-stage striking. So
with no distinction between neutrals and counterpicks.
Yes, exactly. So we are playing on Battlefield, Final Destination, Yoshi's Story, Yoshi's Island, Lilac Cruise, Pokemon Stadium 2, Smashville, Kalos, and Town and City. So quite the selection of stages to pick from. In addition, players get 3 bans during their counterpick phase as well, and there's no DSR.
I'm very impressed that you remembered all these 9 stages. So we're going on Battlefield. So I believe he wants the smaller space to be able to aggress Samus more effectively. But Samus also has some options that are very strong on Battlefield, like the forward air covers the platforms extremely well.
Not to mention, of course, quiK in particular, his movement is so good across these platforms, using the kind of the landing animation of the back air using the B reverses from the charge shot. There's so much that he's able to do to kind of get around these platforms, maneuver around them in ambiguous ways that make it really difficult for him to catch.
And one thing we just saw is that the top platform serves as a pretty decent escape spot for Samus when she does up B.
Yes. Great back end. It was enough to get the KO. That move very, very strong. Caught Tony with the kind of ill-advised DI.
21 into the grab. That was beautiful. Charge shot.
Charge shot, such an asset for Samus in this game.
Not often you see charge shot as a combo starter.
And once again, quick retreating to center stage, putting the bomb on the ground. And again, I think this is what we're going to see a lot of throughout this game, placing those bombs down to cover the ground and then intercepting with the forward air. Ooh. It's all about how Tony plays around that, and we're seeing signs of it right there with that side B.
It's a decent whiff punish attempt, but the side B just didn't connect fully. Oh yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, the forward air on the platform. It's just so good.
Yep, the retreat into the charge shot. Very often after the jab one, you're going to see a retreat from Samus. It's all about how you press your button afterwards. Whether it be retreat into the pivot grab, retreat into a charge shot, all sorts of shenanigans.
Ooh, and the back air, will it do it? Yep.
Yes, that back air from Roy, very, very strong on the sweet spot. Good patience and shield, no punish on that whiff grab, but able to punish the up B instead and using the platform to harass quiK with all of these aerials.
Some decent damage at first here. Let's see if he can... quiK playing very patient. He knows that one tilt is enough to send... at least send Tony off stage, basically.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful stuff using the sour spot up air. That move is quite interesting. It's unsafe on hit at low percents, but once you start getting to those slightly higher percents, it becomes an incredibly good asset for Roy.
And I hear the crowd cheering for every hit that Tony is landing.
Well, that was an impeccably spaced fair to get back onto the stage from quiK. Oh. Going for the dash attack instead. Often in that position, you kind of coax the player to want to neutral get up, and here we go, the damage coming out.
The charge shot into grab. We saw that earlier in the match.
Tony making superb use of this platform. Oh, missing the raw bear after the jab, but intercepted with the forward air.
Nice. That was beautiful.
Very, very nice. And this is a much, much closer game compared to game one. The crowd erupting for Tony. They really want to see him on winner's side of this bracket. Oh, these forward airs coming out full force.
I like the air dodge back. He knew that it was dangerous to follow up here.
And I'm really liking this from Tony.
Oh no! Unfortunately, I thought he timed that roll well, but it was not enough. He still got hit by the charge.
Oh, that's going to be it.
That will be it.
Yes. Beautiful interception with that forward air, just catching him just before he was able to grab the ledge. And that was a